All right, here's where you're at. Okay, you should have your project guide. And as you're looking at this, it should be pretty much complete, perhaps except for the very, very back page where you have your reflection. So you did some ideas, some brainstorming, you've got your content, you've been thinking about how you want it to look, you've kind of sketched out what it's going to look like, and you should be on step 3 where you're programming it. Okay. If you're not, then that's your big goal for today. All right. What I would also like you to do, though, is take a look at the rubric, which should be getting passed out to you if you have not done so yet. So please make sure that you can pause the video and let's take a look at this. Okay, here we go. This project is going to kind of hit in 3 stages. This first one is all about the content. So let's take a look. There's kind of a lot of words on here, but here's what you need to know. Okay, and you can add on here and feel free to put your name on here because it will be helpful to keep this, and you're going to turn this in along with your peer review sheets in order to get it graded. Okay, so first things first, paragraph tags. All right, this is an important way to separate your content. To get all of the points, you're using more than 2. So that basically means 3 or more sets of paragraph tags. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to make sure you understand is content for a paragraph is not like language arts. It just means 3 chunks of content. All right. Opening and closing tags. Next thing is you have to have at least 2 different sizes of headings. Okay, remember that the H1 heading is the biggest. That's usually your big title. H6 is very, very small. When we get into images, this might be a good one to use there. Okay, but just remember biggest to smallest in this order. Okay, 2 different sizes, you'll get full points. If you use 2 headings but they are the same size, then you'll get 2 points. If you only use 1 set of heading tags, you get 1 point, and so on. All right, now the lists. Here's what I want you to make sure. Somewhere within your website, I want to see you programming a list. You can use an unordered list, you can use an ordered list, but make sure that you are using all of the code needed, meaning not just the LI tag. You have to have a starting and an ending, either unordered list or ordered list. Go back and look at your notes to make sure you've got that right. Okay. If you have it properly coded, you'll get full points. If you're missing a little something, you only get 2 points. If you used a list but it has more than one error, or you did not include the ULs or the OLs, you'll only get 1 point. Okay. And then this last part. Now, this structure that you see here on your rubric kind of is the default, and all of your code for your entire page has to go between the body tags. If you put stuff up here, you're going to lose points. Okay, that's right in here if it's outside the body tags. Okay, and last but not least, okay, where it says use white space and line breaks so that there's no pink code. So if you recall when we were doing some, gosh, I think it was, and let me go back here and see if I can find where it was in code.org. Probably in lesson number 2, when you had to format the script. Okay. And here's what's happening with the script. Okay. This very first part here, and let me go back to the way they had given it to you initially. When you initially look at this, all of this content is in one big blob. Do you see all this? It's really hard to read, really hard to decipher. Now, what I mean by white space is this, okay? Even though, let me go back up here. Even though all of this content is in one blob, sometimes what's nice is to come in here and figure out how can I get this to look a little nicer so that as I go in to add in paragraph tags, then I don't see all of these run-on sentences. Now, I added all these enters. Did it do anything over here? No, but it makes the code easier to read, because then when I come here, put in a paragraph tag, and at the end, put in a closing paragraph tag. Whoops, that went in the wrong spot. Ta-da, right here. Okay, it makes it easier to read. So likewise, paragraph tag, come at the end, closing paragraph tag, and so on. So when I talk about utilizing white space, I mean spread stuff out so it's not all blobbed together. And then are you making sure you don't have pink code? Okay, here's something else I want you to notice. If I stopped right here, okay, right now, I've got these lines separated in code, and all of this is not included in any kind of code. That's an error. Every bit of your content, first of all, has to be between body tags, and it has to have code around it. That's your job. Okay, get code around it. Make sure nothing's missing. 3 paragraphs, 2 headings, 1 list. Figure out how you want it to look. Okay, use your checklist here to go through that. This very last part where it says program development, peer review is what we'll do next time. So, and that's also a critical part of your project. So, good luck. Make sure you've gone through the checklist and make sure everything's ready to go. Good luck and happy coding.